What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back in Need for Speed Payback doing some more customization. This time it's going to be on the Camaro. Now, the Camaro is like, okay, first of all, I know there's a lot of people that are going to be super excited to have classic muscle cars back in Need for Speed. I know that there's a lot of people that just love that whole classic muscle car vibe, the classic muscle car feel. And these cars really do these cars really do have a history, and they really do have like a specific feel and a specific following. And it's nice that that's represented here. Now, going down to the grills, okay, this grill, I selected it, and then I selected back into it again, and it was like, I don't know about that. I don't know how I feel about that grill. Like, I looked at it, and it kind of, I was like, oh, that's cool for a second, and then I went back and I was like, yeah, maybe that's not quite that cool, actually. I don't know. It was a little weird. Like, I was like, maybe that's not actually that cool. It was just, like, just strange. Now, going through the wheels, I selected a set of welds first, and then I went back later on and selected a different set of welds because the tires weren't exactly as wide as I would have preferred with the wide body kit. So if you see a slightly skinnier tire on the welds that I picked, just know that later on in the video I do go back and switch them out, so not to worry about that. And I also didn't make them full size because that would have been ridiculous. That would have been kind of like just over the top and crazy, and yeah, no. The weird thing is, though, too, okay, so I selected I had to select, like, quote-unquote stretched, but the reason why I did that was because you get that R888 tread pattern, and I really wanted to have that, so that was my reason for selecting stretched, because I know a lot of my guys are more function-focused guys, including myself, and I'm like, stretched, why? Like, stretched tires, why? And I tried to change the calipers, and then I realized this thing has drum brakes. And you can't really see the rotors and the calipers really behind these weld wheels, but you can see them a little bit, like just enough to know that they're there. And then the fronts, we did more of like a street wheel. The rears, I wanted to have them be welds because I wanted to show a little bit more of like an American style, a little bit more of an American look with these rear wheels. But I went for more of I couldn't believe that this thing had drum brakes in the front as well. I mean, the only vehicle I've ever worked on in real life that has drum brakes in the front and in the back is like a Jeep CJ5, which you would kind of assume it would have drums, but like a Camaro, it's actually like, see how skinny the rear tires are, by the way? Just, again, trust that I'm going to fix that later in the video. But yeah, okay, I just didn't think that they would have drums in the front as well on, like, a car. I mean, I know that this is a first-gen Camaro, but the thing is, I was thinking to myself, and I was like, were they really that, had they really not come that far yet? Like, back in the, in the late 60s when this car came out? And I mean, I guess they hadn't. I mean, really, you gotta think, like, that's one of the first mods, and when I thought about it later on, that's one of the first mods people do to these cars is a full disc conversion. And they usually get the Willwood kit, or I've seen some of them get the Bear kit, like the Bear Brakes kit, which, I mean, you can do either one of those. They're both really, really, really good kits. You can do, I don't know if you could get, yeah, I looked at the side skirts and I was like, nah, they didn't really suit the style I was going for with this car. Look at how skinny those rear tires are. Like I said, again, I know this is like the third time I've said this, but we're swapping them out later. Just to make sure that's totally clarified for the comments. Little kind of, center diffuser. It did actually come out pretty well. I mean, I'm pretty pleased with how it came out. It's like, it's not over the top, but it comes right down the middle, and I love the way it, like, attaches, because it's almost like, not really backyard, but it's like, it's garage style, like street garage style aerodynamics, and I think that's really cool. The wing that we put on the back was like more of like a street wing, but you also had that drag wing option, which is insane to have that. You can also do your tint. I'm not a huge fan of tint. I kind of went just a little bit darker on the tint because I'm not like a massive tint guy. The mirrors we went with, though, the mirrors are really, really cool. I was a big fan of the mirrors. Now here, again, really just wanted to make sure that we went back and changed out those rear wheels and tires, because I couldn't deal with how narrow they were for much longer. It was just kind of one of those things I was like, yeah, this has to go, like, now. So we went back and swapped to a different wheel, and I think that the biggest thing that I was thinking about, I was like, dude, this thing would do the maddest burnouts ever if we left it on those. I mean, like, it would do the maddest freaking burnouts in the entire world. But as far as swapping them out, I mean, we went through a couple of different wheels, but we ended up with these because they are just, like, they're the most just beefy drag style wheels that I've seen. And I think I went back and changed the size up. I hope I went back and changed the size up. If I didn't go back and... No, I didn't know. You're getting a really, really tiny wheel, which is... Okay, the funny thing about that really tiny wheel is it would be fine if it was like a really beefy drag tire, but it's a stretched tire, which looks weird on a small wheel, but I went with that because I wanted to get the tread pattern. So, again, it's just kind of like one of those things, but I went through some of the colors, and I was thinking, you know, maybe I'll do something crazy with the car, but then I saw the white, and I was like, you know what? This car just looks really good in a basic, clean, classic color. Because you gotta think, like, these clean, classic colors are like, just they fit these classic cars really well. I mean, sure, they look good with, you know, crazy wraps and things like that, but, like, in, you know, even in modern cars, yeah, we also fully freaking cambered it out, which, I mean, have your opinions on that, but we also returned it back to what it was supposed to be, just to let you know, just to make sure that, that you guys didn't go freaking crazy, but I did go spaceship camber, for a couple seconds. But if you guys did enjoy this customization video, don't forget to leave me a like, tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys next time. Talk to y'all later.